All right, guys, this is what the engine compartment looked like when I got it from my buddy Eric before I did any cleaning. All right, guys, here we are. This is episode 2 of working on the DBG Mustang. So I have the hood off, sitting over there with the Boss 429 scoop. And you can see that really it just needs some good cleanup and some repainting of these shock towers. Looks like Eric had maybe wanted to clean up the welds, or he just finished them. I don't know. I actually never even asked him about that, but that looks like a pretty good job. I know on my Cougar, what I did is I cut this right over to the side here and cut that whole section out. It just gave me a little bit more extra room, and then I kind of plated it on the top. You saw my previous video I made. But overall, the engine compartment looks pretty good. Got a little damage here for me using the tow hook, dragging it up on the trailer. We'll have to figure that part out. Not too bad. That's a Corvette master cylinder. So I touched up every area that's going to be seen with a touch-up pen with the exact same color. So once I've done that and it's dried, which is pretty darn close, then what I'll do is I'll start buffing it, polishing it, I should say, with rubbing type compound, the 3M stuff that you saw in my other videos. And that cuts off all the dirt, all the imperfections, the little tiny scratches that I didn't cover up. You can see, here's an example here. I bet you I'll have that thing, you won't even notice it because that paint filled in where the scratch was, and I'll buff that rough part right out of there. Let's see, there's another one. There's some ones here on the fender. All these were chips. You could see them there, but really when you're 2 feet away, you don't even notice them. It's crazy. And now it's time to finish the engine compartment, and then we'll do the trunk, clean it all up, and repaint it. Because I'm going to tape the car off, but I want to repaint those areas, including the engine compartment first. That way when I get any, if I get any overspray or whatever, when I do the body, the last 2 final stages, any other overspray will be gone. It'll be mint. All right, guys, so let's take the hood scoop off and see what it looks like. I went around and touched up a lot of areas that had some scratches or some chips, and it'll be interesting to see when I do the paint correction how it's going to come out. I'm pretty excited. So this is a Boss 429 replica type scoop. People always wonder if the Boss 429 scoop is the same as like a Cougar Eliminator, and they're not the same. I got a couple on the back wall, the Eliminators. These are more narrow, the width. Eliminator scoops are a little bit longer and not as high. I think they're like 1.5 inches, and this is like 2 inches or something. I don't know. Could be 3. But check it out. You can see the whole outline of the scoop there. I don't know if this paint will clean up. It's not going to really matter anyways if it doesn't, but it allows me to do a good even buff and polish of the whole hood at the same time without having to worry about the scoop being in the way. But that's a cool scoop. You can see it's just aftermarket. Looks like the same one I have on my Cougar. Let's see what this does. Kids are in the pool, having a great time. I said, you guys want to work on the Mustang or be in the pool? And we know the answer there. But that's okay. They've been good, so they deserve to be able to have some fun. But look at that, it's cleaning up nice. So the paint in this car is really not as bad as you might have thought on the initial video. Now, granted, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be darn good. That makes sense. Darn good. Yeah, you want the paint clean before you go using that polishing compound in different stages. You want to be grinding and polishing dirt into paint. It's getting better. I don't know if a lift would help at this point in time, but I hate crawling underneath the car on your back working around on your back, but that's how it is. DBG, so I get a lift. Let's see what we can do. Well, let's get going. Let's clean this end compartment up, see what we have to work with, see what we have to repaint, and wow, let's go. Now I got these at Tractor Supply, tub of towels, heavy duty cleaning wipes. I don't know, they work pretty good for everything I'm doing pretty much. So, like I said, the car was sitting for 23 years or 20 something years. Takes a lot sometimes to get it back where we need it. And hell, if I clean it up and it looks good, probably not even paint it. Time to do the car over. My wife wants to make it into a Boss 429, so I think that's what we're going to do. Once I get it all spiffed up, you're never even going to know. That's how good this is cleaning up. There's a little elbow grease. Well, there it is, all cleaned up, sanded down. Get ready to prime it. Those areas there, paint it up, detail it, see what we got. DBG Mustang, baby. Check this out, zoom in close and look what I did to the black paint. You can see it here, but not so much here as I kind of wiped it down a little bit to make it a little bit more blended. All right, guys, so let's check it out. Nice support right there for the roll bar. Sometimes not saying nothing says it all. Take a good look, guys, and watch the transformation. Check it out. Clutch pedal right there, already waiting. Looking pretty clean. Clean it up, painted it up. Overall, looks pretty good. Here's Zeus. We're ready to rock and roll. Wait till it's done. All right, guys, this is what the trunk looked like when I got it from my buddy Eric before I cleaned it all out. Has the JR headers in there. Well, here's what the trunk looks like. Good enough for DBG on this time around. The battery was over here. We're going to move it back over to this side here. Put a nice trunk mat down. Cleaned up real well. Thanks, Andrea, Izzy, and Elena. There's a lot more work to go, girls. Let's get to it.